strength after strength after strength. Restore, manufacturers of innovative products for your car and truck. And Target. At Target, you can expect more and pay less.
Back at the Michigan 500, there's Andre Ribeiro. He's the leader of the race, but it's a battle within the team now. The Tasman team runs first and second. Right behind him is the Ducati car, Adrian Fernandez, two Honda-powered machines, and Fernandez is very definitely closing in. He's just been whittling down that interval. Gary Gerould?
Well, more problems for Gilles de Ferran. Now the handling problem has become such that they're concerned there may be another problem other than just the loss of that end plate. Jim Hall is shaking his head, said we don't know what it is, but something is not right. It's not handling the way we think it should be. They have half shafts and other pieces out here in case they've got a problem going relating to wheel bearings or something like that. But we saw a couple of failures earlier on Honda-powered cars.
Andre Ribeiro comes out around, puts Christian Fittipaldi another lap down. And now Adrian Fernandez gets it done. But pit stops are closing down on us. Should be somewhere within the next 4 laps or so. Fernandez, the winner 2 weeks ago at Toronto. So often, Danny, when we see a guy take a win, it really gives him a boost of confidence, and suddenly he's performing better.
That's right. But he's been performing well all year, and it's taken him a while to get used to this team and so forth. But it also helps the team perform better as well. They get pumped up. You don't think on this pit stop that's coming up in a few laps that there's not going to be some inter-team rivalry right there with the first and second place, and both of those are team cars.
There's P.J. Jones, well off the pace now, and we expect would be coming in shortly. 166 complete, 84 to go. De Ferran, of course, for him this will be a critical pit stop. Ribeiro, we've got yellow, and we've got it for debris at what is a very opportune time for the leaders of the race. Of course, not only will de Ferran have to make the change on the wing if they care to do so. The report is that there's a reason for the yellow. That looks like a pad from the cockpit. Pits are closed for the moment until they gather the field up behind the PPG pace car. The leader of the race will lead them down in as the leaders can stop first.
Paul, that pad that you called, see right here on this shot, Ribeiro's helmet, and then just between them, that black area before the bodywork, there's pads in there to protect them against an incident, also to give them some support around these left-handed corners all afternoon, and that could have just blown out of the car.
So with the yellow for debris coming at the perfect time, you can see they have put some flag people out by the yellow lights to accommodate the fact that that one set of yellows coming off of 4 were lights out when the tire got up into it after Zanardi's accident. So IndyCar has quite wisely put some people out with flags at several of the positions now. Several times they do have people there, but they've added at least one to make sure that it is quite clear when they go to the yellow flag. Now, as they come down the backstretch behind the pace car, the pits are open to the cars on the lead lap. This is going to be critical. You're going to see the Tasman team, those two cars stop together. Remember, Scott Pruitt had a great stop under the Patrick team. He is running in 3rd right now. Will he be able to improve his position? And we'll be keeping an eye, of course, on Gilles de Ferran and what they decide to do about that car. He's fallen back to 7th with his troubles. This is a time for these two teams to shine. That's Ribeiro's crew closest to us, and right next to them, of course, is Fernandez's crew. You think those hearts aren't pounding? But all these teams practice this constantly. Now Ribeiro finally can pull free and leads the front of the field down to the pits. And as Andre Ribeiro leads his teammate in, let's go to Jack Arute.
We'll be calling Ribeiro and Fernandez. You talk about the team. Well, there is no team right now. It's up to these two gentlemen. One from Brazil, he snacks it up front. Andre Ribeiro has won before. They're going to change all 4 tires. In the meantime, taking a look, Gilles de Ferran is in, Gary Gerould.
Yeah, right now it's routine service, tires and fuel, but they also have the 4 screws in place on the end plate, and now the crew hops over the wall.
Gary Ribeiro is away, but Fernandez is having in gear. Now they've stalled the car. They're going to have to go back and restart it. That moves Scott Pruitt into second. You can see that just a total disgust on the side of the crew. He stalled it again. They're having trouble with the gearbox. They're going to go back again, try to start it, try to calm things down. Let's check back in with you, Gary. We'll update you.
40 seconds and counting. They got the old bolts out that were sheared off. Now they're hammering home the new bolts. DeFerrin blips the throttle. 48 seconds and he's rolling.
And here's the problem with Adrian Fernandez. It looks as if the car is literally stuck in gear. Every time they try to start it, the car jumps forward. So this is a problem for Adrian Fernandez, and it is a very costly one, gentlemen.
From second place into serious trouble, Scott Pruitt with an 11.9-second pit stop would have gotten him anyway as he came out, and Pruitt moved into second place. Now the question, though, is we're talking two cars from the same team, but team members from both teams there for a second. Did they touch the car, and is that a problem?
Well, I'm not sure of the rules because I've never seen that happen before, but one of the LCI cars from guys from Ribeiro was actually trying to push the car back into that pit. You're only allowed your guys over the wall touching that car. I'm not so sure that won't bring on a penalty. That was the enthusiasm of the team.
Adrian's in trouble again.
I don't think it's going to matter much now, but he's definitely going to go down.
Jack Arun?
Well, here's the problem. They got it into gear. Now, the way they got it out of gear was they actually put it up on the jack stand. And believe it or not, once they got the car started, they couldn't get it back in gear. So the car stalled. They had to shut it off. They go back to their pit stall once again.
And one thing to remember, at the Michigan 500, if one car in a team tends to have a problem, it does tend to show up elsewhere. So now what are they thinking about in Andre Ribeiro's pit? As here is your order after 170 laps of the Michigan 500. Andre Ribeiro in front.
If they used a dozen run-of-the-mill drivers, they couldn't call it the International Race of Champions, could they? Think about it.
Back still under yellow at the Michigan 500. Andre Ribeiro, you ride with him now. Look at this pit summary of the last stops. Ribeiro in and out as first, but Scott Pruitt, his team got him a whole place, moving him up into second. Now, that did happen because I watched Pruitt come out. It has nothing to do with Fernandez's situation. And Mauricio Gugelmin came forward to third place with that stop. Gary Gerould?
Let's update that situation again on Gilles de Ferran. The biggest problem they had in a 48-second pit stop was getting the broken off bolts or screws out of that left side plate. They then got the thing back on. They got him back out. Jim Hall says, I'm happy our crew got that job done that quickly. We'll see now if the car acts any better. Al Unser Jr. came in and made two significant changes. Half turn on the front wing, trying to take care of that push position he had in traffic. And also, they'd been running without the gurney flap or the wicker bill, that little thin strip on the rear wing. They put one back in on his last pit stop. Let's go to Jack.
Well, Gary, it wasn't the gearbox. It was the clutch. Adrian, just to describe the emotions when you thought you had a nominal pit stop, and then all of a sudden it just went away.
Well, it's a bad feeling because, you know, the guys have been doing a good job, and we've been, without getting desperate, we've been just getting better the car, and I thought I thought I was the fastest at the end there, and I was just taking my time, and, you know, unfortunately this is bad for all of us, but I mean, we are happy because, I mean, we've been working very good, and this is good for the team.
What about your teammate? Can anybody handle him now that you're out of the race?
It'll be difficult. I think if Andre doesn't do any mistake, he should win this race.
Gentlemen?
Well, awfully tough luck for Adrian Fernandez as the field still under yellow. Right behind the PPG pace car down low, of course, that's Ribeiro. That's Raul Boesel sitting up high. And then followed is the 20 car of Scott Pruitt. Christian Fittipaldi is there. There's Mauricio Gugelmin with the red, white, and blue car, yellow helmet. That's Eliseo Salazar with the sticker tires just behind him. Brian Herta is the black and white car. Robbie Gordon up high. Remember the fast guys, the guys on the lead lap are down low. There's the team car, the Visa car. That's Mark Blundell. He's the team car, of course, to Mauricio Gugelmin. There's the points leader, Jimmy Vasser, who currently is out of the points on this race, too, save for the one that he earned as a result of taking the pole position. So that kind of throws everything to this car, Al Unser Jr., the 2 car, red and white, because as he continues to soldier in 6th place, and if he can come forward now, he's earning the points needed to put him into the top of the championship fight. And there, all the way at the back, Parker Johnstone and Greg Moore. There's Stefan Johansson, who is having a pretty good day here, sitting now in 7th place. DeFerrin, Hero. Here comes Parker. And just behind him, Greg Moore, after a change of the right rear upright on those cars. Both Parker had problems, and certainly Moore had problems. Pace comes up. They come off of 4, waiting for the green to come out, as Ribeiro leads them back to green flag on the 173rd lap. Gugelmin kind of gets trapped. Bryan Herta back just a bit as well, so the start really paying off for the leader of the race, Andrew Ribeiro. He gets a good run on everybody. Now here comes Scott Pruitt, and Gugelmin is able to come out and around Raul Boesel, who was in with the lap down group. So back in pursuit once again. Well, maybe not quite out and around. Here comes Bryan Herta down low. Robbie Gordon and Boesel stay up high as the faster cars close, and Herta's really closing in. There's Bryan Herta down on the inside of Robbie Gordon, the shell car. Still, he can't seem to get the momentum up, and now Unser Jr. is closing on Bryan Herta. Unser Jr. running high, but those are slower cars ahead. This is going to get tight. Gordon comes alongside Boesel. Al Unser comes down inside Gordon, gets around Herta.
Al is hooked up there. He just sliced through that. Went high, came back down through the middle, went down low. He's happy with his car right now.
Yeah, changes apparently work for little Al.
That's one thing that's always been brilliant about Penske racing. He did this with Rick Mears better than anybody. Car wasn't always good. They fiddled with the car all the way through the race. At the end of the race, they had the car where they wanted it.
Well, I can remember Rick Mears going over a lap down, and the team just steadily working him back to the lead, eventually the win. There's DeFerrin. Maybe now we can get an idea as he closes on Bryan Herta how much that work benefited him during the last stop. There's DeFerrin. Herta just ahead. That's a fight for position, fight for 5th. Thought they were going to split Robbie for a second there.
I think DeFerrin actually thought about going up high. I'm just not so sure that Robbie left him that much room.
So Herta gets a little breathing room from Robbie Gordon. Gordon wants to stay in the fight here. Gordon not on the lead lap.
Yeah, but Robbie's a racer, and if there's a race to be run out there, he's gonna give it to go.
DeFerrin down on the inside, allowing Robbie, but can he hold it and get around Herta? He's working down in that low groove now. I think the fix worked. Now Gugelmin working on Little Al. As Little Al makes it around Gugelmin. Al Unser Jr., the fix obviously worked. He is running the fastest laps that he has all day. So Little Al to 3rd around Gugelmin. Bryan Herta in 5th under attack from Gil DeFerrin, though DeFerrin's broken it off for the moment. But at least he is around Robbie Gordon and now has clear sailing to try and catch Bryan Herta.